guys? Welcome back to the Nerd Militia. Today we're talking about Go Woke, Go Broke. I also want to tell you guys, don't forget that we're still doing our giveaway, our Blade Trinity giveaway, and we're adding on top of that the Matt Reeves Batman tickets giveaway. I'm giving away 2 tickets to a lucky subscriber. Again, all you have to do is subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Don't forget to comment down below. Maybe comment your like number. As long as you comment on any video released in this month, you are entered to win. So, guys, we're talking about wokeness and where I fit in there. I do think the whole terminology behind it, the SJWs, the anti SJWs, the woke go bro type deal, is just all nonsense, right? All it truly boils down to is poor writing, super duper poor writing. um no creativity, and just poor writing. This whole other stuff, SJWs, or people calling other people like Nazis, or it is just bananas. Well, we know this to not be true, right? Because there are black characters, there are gay characters, there are strong female characters in comic books. Should there be more? Maybe, probably. Should they be like forced in there? I don't think that's happening. I think what is happening is corporations are hopping on top of chains trends, and they're not really caring. Now, on top of that, when a company puts money behind something, yeah, it does it does shine the spotlight on people's like true feelings, right? Because I think if we would just normally, if a comic book comes out and I don't like it, I just go, I don't like that book, I'm not gonna buy it. Bing, bada, boom, right? But I do feel, again, this is a trend. That voice of people saying like an agenda. People going, there's money behind that. So of course, if you're that individual, awesome, kudos to you. That's super super good for you. I'm hoping that you're making money. But honestly, I don't think there's like an agenda. I would hope that you have some sort of relationship, uh and I'm touching on like what I think, or what I hear mostly the agenda is in their perspective. But I would hope that your parenting skills are enough that you have some sort of like sway over your kids. Because what I hear a lot when it comes to this is like, oh man, they're pushing this diversity to our kids, and all this other stuff. And it's like, all right, I mean, like, I don't see what's wrong with that. um there's not a comic book on this planet that's going to make your child gay. If they're gay, they're gay. Like, so I mean, like, I don't get it, right? So those parts, I don't get. Those are mostly like money making schemes that some guys like. I'm gonna put on the costume of the outrage guy and make millions of dollars on it. Again, if that's you, kudos to you. And then, of course, there's the opposite end of the spectrum. There's always the other guy who is just like, I am going to make money off saying the opposite, or maybe go into it, and call this guy a Nazi for his thoughts. And that's not okay. There's a lot of things that we in comics that we don't have to like, but it doesn't make us SJWs. It doesn't make us wokeness. Let me touch on a couple things with you guys. Calling these companies woke, or even putting them in the characterize them as woke, is you're giving them more credit than you need to. Again, these are just companies jumping on what they consider trends. They don't understand the movement, right? They don't they don't understand what this is about. What they're seeing is, oh my god, black people came out to see Black Panther. Let's start putting black characters in prominent positions. Um, thank you, but I would have loved it if you've put more thought into a character, not just because somebody sold $1 billion and now you're just doing a color swap of the character. That's horrible. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's everything. I would hope that you would give a crap more. about this black character that you're creating or that you're bringing from the background to the forefront and actually create some great lore and make this character more interesting. But what we're seeing is not a lot of that. We're just seeing a lot of buzzwords, a lot of people grabbing like black writers that may or may not have, more likely not have experience in writing comic books and saying like, hey, here's a title, go have fun. Like that should not be the case, and that's what's happening. Does that make that company woke? Absolutely not. It makes that company stupid for trying to follow a trend that they know nothing about, trying to hop on a movement they know nothing about. It's silliness. So when people call these companies woke, it's just like you're giving it you're 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 giving it too much credit. They're not woke. You, they by definition what they're doing isn't wokeness, right? Um, the stuff that's happening over at I Am Batman, and I'm going to use that as an example. I think a storyline bringing forward Mr. Terrific would have done way better than just saying we're going to color swap Batman for no reason. It's Lucius Fox's son, so he's going to be the new Batman. I don't know why. Just because he wants to do that. I think what Lucius Fox's kid, being Lucius Fox's kid and being who Lucius Fox is with technology, I think that he would maybe want to go knock on Mr. Terrific's door and be like, hey, I see you got these things, these spares, you're doing this. Like, let's do something amazing. I feel like that could have been a greater story. And I understand the need to want to put a black guy in that cow. I get it, right? Because these characters are centuries old, right? They've done so many stories, hell, they've repeated stories. But if you change the race of a character, the perspective is switched, right? Batman, Bruce Wayne's perspective is completely different than Fox's son's perspective, right? How he deals with cops are completely different than how he's going to deal with cops and villains and so on, how people see him. Awesome, right? I get it. But there has to be, you have to kind of give up. You do. You just can't, oh man, we're just gonna put this character in here just cause to sell a couple comics. That's no good. So I guess to circle back around to like where I fit into this camp is I don't believe companies are going woke because they're not woke. Um Again, and I don't believe in like these terms like the social justice warrior SJW because they have nothing to do with comic books. I mean, like, or that made up perspective has nothing to do with comic books. Again, it's a company trying to capitalize on a movement or something they don't understand. Hell, the character designs themselves obviously proves that they don't understand anything of what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, and they're just dumb. There had already been strong women characters. There had already been great black characters. There have been great Hispanic characters. There have already been gay characters, and maybe there hasn't been a lot of gay characters, but there's gay characters in these universes that could be brought forward and and expanded upon. But they're not doing that. They're just doing this other kind of ridiculous stuff. And when people get rowdy about it, of course the numbers go up. Like, for instance, guys, the comic book that just came out with Connor Kent being gay, I bought that. And I bought it specifically because I feel that they're going to drop the ball with this character. Because there's so much more to that they could have touched on that I saw they didn't touch on. Um, yeah, that just didn't make sense. And I feel like this is just, for lack of a better term, this is a gimmick they're using. And what really sucks is that most people don't realize it's a gimmick. They just go full on and they blame like, oh man, gay agenda. And it's like, no, dude, there's no gay agenda at all. There's no, it's just a company wanting to capitalize the fact that gay people finally have a space in the medium and they don't have the time or want the time to cultivate and build an already established gay character or cultivate and build a new gay character, that they're just going to drop this. They're just going to throw that in there and say, here, that's how it is. And again, to touch back on to Jonathan, I feel like that's it. They gimmicked him up because there's so much more they could have done with Jonathan. Jonathan being gay, great. And I know the guy that he eventually like falls for does have superpowers, But him being gay and falling in love with at that time a normal individual would have made for a better storyline, because I think the struggle of him being gay is one thing, but him being gay and being that he chose to love somebody who was also depowered, having been grown up in a family where his dad dated a woman who was not superpowered, and all the trouble he went through dealing with that, all the life saving he had to do. How many times did Clark had to let people get injured or maybe die to save Lois because Lois was weak, right? So why would you sign up for that hardship? You know what your father and your mom went through. Like, wouldn't it? That's an even deeper struggle. Like, yeah, be gay and have that just sounds so weird. Be gay, like be gay, but like build on that. There's so much more. There's so much more to that, and they just, oh yeah, he's gay, blah blah blah, nothing else. Like, okay, cool, he's gay, but how does he feel about that? What's tied to that? Like there's a lot of stuff there that I just don't feel that was like not handled well. Um, he's part of the Holy Trinity, or the future Holy Trinity, right? And they missed the moment to maybe talk to the readers, guide the readers, or even like build that bridge to maybe people who are not understanding of the gay community. There's nothing there. It's just there. Like, I know there's like this discourse between whether or not X-Men was a medium for or at least another way to look at the civil rights era. But even if you disagree with that, you can still see that, like, oh wow, this is kind of resemblance of this Civil War era, and maybe somebody who was less likely to understand the viewpoints of the Civil War, civil rights era, guys. Sorry, of the civil rights era can read this comic book and be like, oh snap, like, oh man, this is that. This is it's, and then like there you've kind of built a bridge to that. You get what I'm saying? And I just don't think the world is, we have very few Jack Kirby's, and we're just like, right now comics are just trying to stay above water, and if they have to create buzz by knowingly making these warring factions in the real world go against each other just to move some books, they will, guys. But I hope that rambling maybe helped some of you guys and clarified where I stand. I do not believe in woke go broke, because I don't believe that the corporations are woke. I do believe, however, that they're using gimmicks to try to move comics and sell comics. But what they're doing is they're purposely creating controversy, and the controversy are pushing the comics. And the controversy is being used by people who understand how to use their platform and push their own narratives and agendas to make money, and that's fine. Where I draw the line is the point where we get to start disrespecting each other over these characters, and that's just stupid, because now we're crossing a line that doesn't need to be crossed. So here's my deal to you guys. Where do you guys feel? Are you guys anti SJW, pro SJW? Do you believe in the woke go broke thing? Let's talk about it. I'm excited to hear your point of view. I talk about this with friends. We always talk about this over on Comical TV, with my good friends who have different views in general, and like we just talk about these things, and sometimes we agree on certain things and sometimes we disagree on certain things, and I think we have lost the ability to agree to disagree with each other, and this has allowed people to come in and make you choose sides and make financial gain off of that. I wish more people had friends like I did over there at Comical TV, because there are certain things that come up and we're just, all of us can agree like, "Ugh, this is not good," and there's some things where I'm just like, nah, I can see what they're trying to do. I'm gonna support it, and then we move on about our day. We just have fun over there, man. And that's my segue to this, guys. If you guys want more knowledge on comic books, if you guys want to spec your deck and see what's going on, please go visit Comic Cult TV. They are the best in the game, in my opinion. If you could help them get their subscription numbers up, that would be so amazing. They deserve it. They work so hard, and any promotion I could do for them is awesome. I don't know. They're my boys. Please go take care of them. They are amazing. So again, before we end this, let me clarify. No, I don't believe in woke go broke. I do believe in corporations using these hot buzzwords to sell more comics, guys. Like I said, there's always been gay people, there's always been black people, Latinos, and and Asian people, and all different kinds of people in walks of life. Hell, there's been purple people. Do certain groups, should they be seen more? Sure, of course, but there's a way to introduce these characters, and that's with care and love, and we're not seeing that. So care, guys. I'm talking to you, DC. I'm talking to you, Marvel. Give a shit or two, you know. Don't just don't just purposely create controversy just to save your comic industry from failing. Like, if you care and take the time, the comic industry will blossom more than it's ever been. You you guys got to make sure shipping is doing better. I can barely get comic books right now. All right, guys, as usual, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for clicking on this video. If you liked it, hit a like, share it, and let's talk about this in the comments. Don't forget about our Blade Trinity giveaway and our Batman tickets giveaway. As usual, stay excellent, and I'll catch you guys later.